First thoughts on the strike on Iran and what it could mean for rates, the market, and the economy. Anyone who's been following me for a while knows I've been showing the same 10-year Treasury chart, pointing to this big basing zone where I believe something big is going to happen and be a catalyst. Like, we didn't know what the trigger would be, but looks like we may have just found it, because last night's strike could be this geopolitical catalyst that sends interest rates higher, and not because of the Fed, but because of this global instability. So remember what's driving interest rates right now. It isn't Jerome Powell. It's this fear of inflation and this uncertainty that we're going to get into stagflation. So more than the actual data. But so far, the reaction from last night is surprisingly calm. Bitcoin hasn't dropped, which is a good sign, because the last two major market dips were on the weekend and kind of preceded by a Bitcoin decline. So this relative stability means the market isn't like completely panicked yet, but we're not going to know until the futures open tonight and whatever kind of transpires during the day. So we're still in this tightening pattern. Rates, yields, inflation, they've all been like coiling as like a little spring. So any unexpected news, especially like this, can just trigger these like short-term spikes, right? The economic data still shows a slowing economy, which should bring rates down over time, but we knew we were going to have some of this turbulence. So all the loans I have, we're closing in the next 2 weeks. We're locked in, so for things like this. But this is exactly the kind of volatility that makes mortgage spreads wider, right? We're at historically wide spreads. One thing I have been thinking about, and I've talked about stagflation. I've talked about how we might be able to spin out of this economy if the rates normalize around 5.5, everything opens back up. But what I haven't factored in until now is war. Historically, war has been a lever pulled during these economic downturns to restart the machine. And I really hope that's not where we're headed, but something to be mindful of. So more updates to come as things develop. Stay with it. Have a good one.